Welcome to Pet Allies Adoption Minute, sponsored by Sholo TV. I'm Jill Tinkel, and I've got my little co-host, Odie, better known as Santa Paws, and I've got RJ here from Pet Allies, and Odie is so excited because Christmas is his favorite time, and you brought a dog who is named after his favorite Christmas movie character.
You know, I've never seen that movie. Elf, right?
Yes, Buddy the Elf is here today.
Yes, Buddy
and
the
that's
Elf.
really his name. So you can see the excitement on Odie's face. He just can't stand
He thought he was
it.
going to meet the other Buddy.
He kind of did. So we kind of tricked him.
We fooled
on that
him
one.
a little bit. Yeah,
we did.
yeah.
You know, and I do have an elf costume, but Buddy would
not fit.
It would not fit. It would definitely not.
Buddy's a little too big for that.
It definitely. So
although he's not chubby.
No, he's
a good size.
Corgi-ish, I think is what he is.
That's his size.
Yeah, well,
he looks to be a
now you
corgi
can tell
mix,
he's disappointed because we lied to him about the
Odie.
Buddy that was coming.
Yeah, he's just collapsed in angst.
He did. But let's talk about Buddy, all right, and the circumstances that brought Buddy to Pet Allies, and let's talk about what people can do to avoid that.
So he's a 3-year-old dog, and the other 2 dogs that came in with him are both 4 years old. And they're both very nice dogs. One is a dachshund that's a little bossy, but they're pretty good dogs. Their owner died. They went to a family member who came in and donated $75 and gave us 3 dogs. And they all had to be spayed or neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, and minor little other medical issues. So the shelter experiences about $300 a dog in care pretty much right away.
Right.
And we received one $75 donation. So if you're planning on leaving your pets to a shelter, and that's not always a bad idea, because you shouldn't assume that your family wants to take on the responsibility. Say, oh, my children will. Well, maybe they won't, because maybe their lifestyle doesn't allow them to, or maybe they have a cat that doesn't get along with your animal, or maybe they just really aren't an animal lover like you are.
And I'm just going to say, it's a lot to ask.
It is a lot to ask. And we see, I would say the majority of people, don't really want to take that burden. So they ask a shelter for help, but they don't realize that they're really putting a financial challenge on the shelter to care for that animal properly. So if you could contact the shelter before you pass, while you're healthy and young, or just ready to think about things, and say, we want to have you take care of our pets. Is it okay to put that in our will? We really appreciate knowing in advance that you're going to send the pets to us. And then we can say, please, leave us a little money to be able to take care of your animal. We will ask for that because we really need your help to be able to properly care for your pet.
Right. I've actually talked to someone one time, which left me a little dumbfounded, I have to be honest, who had donated their pet thinking they'd done you a favor,
right?
But not at all, and that's what you're there for. So don't get us wrong on this. That's why Pet Allies exists, is for the benefit of the dogs and cats and other pets on the mountain that have nowhere else to go. But you're not doing us any favors by dropping off your dog. We're taking the responsibility. You're feeding, you're caring, all the medical provisions have to be done, has to be spayed or neutered. We've got to get an idea of what, its disposition is like, put it with the right family, could be there for weeks or months. A couple have been there for a year. So there's a lot of money involved, and there's nothing wrong with your dog or pet going to Pet Allies upon your passing, but why don't you drop by and drop off a check for $500, before you're not even sick, and just say, this is my wishes, I want to donate this money, but this is my tab right here.
Right.
And while you're at it, go ahead and make sure that your dog is spayed or neutered right now, because A, it should be, and then B, Pet Allies wanted to do that, at the last minute for you. There's a lot of things you can do. It can go in your trust or your will. You can let Pet Allies know. The other thing you can do, which would really be fabulous, and has happened to us a few times, is how about you leave a portion of your life insurance money or your annuity to a place like Pet Allies, so it isn't just your dog that benefited.
Right.
You really benefited all the animals of the White Mountains.
Right.
And it didn't cost you a dime.
Right.
So that's the best way to do it. And if you do it through life insurance, it's going to be bestowed to Pet Allies with no taxation on either. So that way they get 100% of the money and your animals are well taken care of. And what a great giving thing to do. And it is time to think about giving. It is. So Odie wants you to think about doing that.
We know that people are aware maybe of the end times coming now, because COVID makes us think about it all the time, all the people that have passed from that. So it's more in people's minds than at other times.
It is, and it's never too early to take care of those things.
No.
So we're going to highly recommend that you do that. Odie wants me to do that because he wants to be well taken care of if something happens to me. And so I think it's all about responsibilities.
Yes.
We want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. We hope that we're included in part of your giving time at Christmas. And we thank you for joining us here on Sholo TV for Pet Allies Adoption Minute. And we sure hope to see you at the shelter.
If you would like more information about the shelter, its monthly events, or to schedule an adoption outside of regular hours, please visit www.PetAlliesAz.org or call the shelter at 928-537-8009.